Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. Thank you for joining me. Wherever you are joining me, rate the show, comment, agree, disagree, but whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. And if you're joining me on the YouTube channel, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. It's an interesting time in sports. Obviously, today is Thursday, and you know what that means. If you're a football fan, that means the NFL is back. That means from now until January, or actually maybe even into February now, we don't have to worry about a world without football. Like, if you're a football fan, this is it, right? Like, you're going to get the NFL today, and then you're going to get some college games and high school. Hopefully it's high school for you guys. Go and support your local high schools. You're going to get high school. Then on Saturday, you're going to get college. Then on Sunday, you're going to get NFL. And on Monday, you're going to get NFL. And then on Tuesday and Wednesday, you're going to get football from the MAC, because they like to go on different days. And then Thursday, you're back to Thursday night football. It's football, football, football. By the way, keep a plug in your ear, because next Saturday, you're going to see your boy make his ESPN debut. I'll be on ESPN Plus calling the Morgan State game, Morgan State versus Towson, up in Baltimore. Make sure you go and check your boy out next Saturday, 7 p.m. on ESPN Plus. But enough about me. I really wanted to talk about this Mina Kimes contract. It's got a lot of people in a chokehold. Mina Kimes signs a large deal for over $1 million a year. I think it's fantastic that she has signed this deal. But I don't understand why we're not allowed, and by we I mean everybody, anybody, are not allowed to be critical of Mina Kimes signing that kind of contract, when one of Mina Kimes' jobs is to be critical of players signing contracts. So we can't be critical of the analyst, right? Because she's an analyst. That's what she's hired to do. So she's an analyst. We can't be, she's not a reporter anymore. She's not reporting the news where she's just giving you the facts. She's inserting her opinions. She's inserting her views. She's inserting her thoughts. We're not allowed to criticize. And again, when I say we, I don't mean me, because I don't really have a beef with Mina Kimes. But I'm going to tell you some stuff, and you might take it as critical, and I just take it as, hey, this is what it is. But I wanted you to hear something before I go into that. This is Mina Kimes on the show with Pablo Torre. Pablo Torre finds out some new iteration from the world of Metal Art Media and Dan Levitard, who I love, but I don't know if he actually has an eye for talent, because I think Pablo Torre has been one of the worst personalities on sports television since we've been going. Like, he's been one of the worst personalities on sports television since we're going. I am still convinced that he was the beginning of the end of Bomani Jones on ESPN when they did that show High Noon, which should have been fabulous. What he brought to the table versus what Bomani brought to the table was right? And so because he didn't really bring anything to the table, he began a downfall. And every show that he's been on has been right? So here is Mina Kimes on Pablo Torre's new thing on Dan Levitard's network through DraftKings, where they are criticizing the new setup of Skip Bayless's show. And Mina Kimes gives her opinion on the show. And this is after Dan Levitard essentially just said that 3 black men who all played sports were just loud and obnoxious on TV, like really just roasted them. But other than that, here's an Asian woman, a Pablo Torre, and a Dan Levitard out here just I mean, cooking this show. But I want you to listen to what Mina Kimes had to say about the show when she was giving her opinion. By the way, Mina Kimes not only signed a contract with ESPN, but also signed a contract with Metal Art Media to appear on with Dan Le Batard once a week. So she's getting the bag from two ends. That's an applause. When you can hustle the game like that and you can't, and ESPN doesn't hold you down to exclusivity, like that's saying a lot. So again, Mina Kimes.
That I think is interesting because, you know, Dan, I've seen some of your criticisms of debate shows and debate culture, and I think that there's the thing that I find very hard to parse personally is, well, is this good television? Is it good television or bad television? What makes good and bad television in the argument format? The ratings kind of speak for themselves with some of these shows. That I feel like, though, hits a wall where it's not good for me personally. Like, I cannot I find that unwatchable. I find it's very challenging for me to listen to. And it's very different from, I guess I'll weigh in here with the personal experience. First Take, which I do.
That is Mina Kimes talking about how she feels as if the new Undisputed with Skip Bayless and 3 black athletes, 3 high-level, borderline Hall of Fame. Well, one is a Hall of Famer. The other 2 are borderline Hall of Fame athletes with big, strong voices, very similar to Stephen A's big, strong voice, and Shannon Sharp's big, strong voice. That's her talking about these 3 dudes and how she finds the show in its new iteration unwatchable. Nobody took her to town on that. Nobody said, oh my gosh, I can't believe Mina Kimes just said that about this show. Why? Because that's her job to be critical, right? Oh, and it's her choice. She can be critical. She cannot like something, right? She cannot like something. You know who can defend themselves, who nobody has to come to the defense of? They don't have to come to the defense of Michael Irvin or Keyshawn Johnson or Richard Sherman. They don't have to come, and they probably won't come to the defense of Skip Bayless. You know why? Because they're men, and people are like, oh, well, suck it up, or, you know, they can talk for themselves. But the moment that somebody is critical of Mina Kimes, the moment somebody says something negative about Mina Kimes, the moment Mina Kimes' name comes up in something negative, everybody has to jump to attention to defend her. And more importantly, a bunch of men have to jump in to defend her. Now, I know we live in a time where if you say something that goes against the person who, or the group that we feel have been marginalized or have been put down, that you take a risk. You run a risk of people trying to cancel you. You run risk of people coming at you, right? But that doesn't mean that you have to overcorrect by not allowing these people to just fight their own battles. Mina Kimes does not need you to fight her battles. There's no battle to fight. She's already won. It doesn't matter whether or not people like her or dislike her. The contract is signed, right? I will give you my opinion. I find Mina Kimes unwatchable. The same way that she finds watching Richard Sherman and Keyshawn Johnson and Michael Irvin do their thing on First Take is the same way that I don't watch NFL Live or anything that she's doing analyst work on. I never have, right? I never have, and I'm not going to start. I watched enough Mina Kimes when she was doing her thing on Highly Questionable and early on when they started getting her into different shows that I've watched on ESPN to know that she's not my brand of analyst. It has nothing to do with her being a woman. It has nothing to do with her being East Asian. It has nothing to do with any of those things. It has to do with what she talks about and how she talks about it. She comes at the sport from an angle that I personally don't like listening to. I don't like listening to it from black men when they do it. I don't like listening to it from white men when they do it. I don't care if they played football or if they never touched a football before. When you start talking and most of the things that you say have to do with advanced analytics and statistics and all that other stuff, I immediately go, okay, and I'm out. That's me. Now, I'll say this. When she's just talking about like stuff, life, her sports fandom, she's very enjoyable to listen to. I've listened to her podcast, the Mina Kimes Show with Lenny in the past, and I've always enjoyed that podcast. I've listened to her on Highly Questionable and on various iterations of Dan Le Batard's show where she's just talking and she's just being a personality. Great personality. I'm not attracted to her. You ask anybody that knows me and knows what I like, she's not my brand. But I'm going to let all of you guys out there that's out there like running to the keyboards to defend her. She's not having sex with you, dude. Sorry. Mina Kimes ain't going to hump you. Mina Kimes is already humping somebody, I'm assuming her husband, and is pregnant by him. She's not going to do you. So you don't have to come to her defense. You don't have to come to her rescue. She is one of the smartest women in sports. Excuse me, not even women. She's one of the smartest people in sports. That's not debatable. She's one of the smartest people in sports. If she had decided that she wanted to get into basketball, she would have had this same level of success in basketball. You know why? Because she's really smart. She's really talented. She doesn't need you guys out there putting your 124 characters, your 165 characters, your memes. She doesn't need all that. She answered a negative post with 2 words in a video. You know why? Because she's her. She don't need you. You guys out there deciding that y'all want to like trade it all to defend Mina Kimes and get a like from Mina Kimes. Congratulations. She's going to hit the little thumbs up, the little heart, whatever it is, and she's going to move on with her day. That's if she sees it at all. You think she's walking around Twitter all day just looking for the positive comments? No, because she's not doing that with all the negative comments. She's admitted she don't play that game no more. She's not in that world anymore where she has to feel like she's being validated by anybody. She only needs validation from herself. And you know what validation is? Over $1 million a year contract from the worldwide leader in sports. The ability to then go out and get a side deal from Metal Art Media to appear one day. I don't know what that bag's like, but I'm pretty sure it's more money than I make. Mina Kimes can be criticized, and Mina Kimes can defend herself. She doesn't need to be protected from criticism. In fact, you do her a disservice when you protect her from criticism. When you keep her from receiving criticism, from receiving hate, from receiving backlash, when you cocoon her from that, you don't help her. You hurt her. Because now she does it, people go, I don't know if I, like today, yesterday when I was deciding whether or not I wanted to talk about this subject, in my brain I went, do I really want to like get into this? Because somebody's going to think that I'm hating. They're gonna think I'm just being a man that's against a woman. I hope that I've articulated my points well enough. I hope we can see the parallels. But I really thought about, even with all of that, whether or not it was smart or whether or not it was intelligent for me or worth it for me to talk about it. But at the end of the day, this is Talk Spicy, homie. I'm just going to say what I'm going to say. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. The people who know me, they know how I get down. You know what I'm into. And the people who know me and know how I get down and know what I'm into know that Mina Kimes is not my brand. The same way that a bunch of the other people that they got on a lower tier of ESPN, not on the Mina Kimes tier, but on the lower tier of ESPN, are not my brand. If you out here running around talking about some DVOA, if you out here running around talking some advanced analytics as the start of your argument, then we ain't got nothing to talk about. I want to know what you see, how you see it, so I can compare whether or not it makes sense to the game. If you start quoting some stats from places that I won't even name because I don't even give them the satisfaction of being right, then I'm out. It doesn't mean that somebody can't do the job or shouldn't do the job. It just means that I ain't rocking with it. And guess what? Mina Kimes feels the same way because she had no problems sitting there while they went in on Skip Bayless's Undisputed Show with 3 black people on it, 3 black men who are former football players and not just some regular old like Joe Schmo football player, but elite level football players with big personalities and big voices. And she said she found it unwatchable and nobody killed her for it. Guess what? She shouldn't be killed for it. Why? Because that's her opinion. So why can't other people have opinions that say, I don't agree ESPN should have gave her that money? Why not? Why can't other people have opinions that they don't believe that she knows what she's talking about? That's just their opinion. It doesn't mean you got to come hero running through Twitter, hero running through Instagram. Mina, you're the greatest. Don't listen to these guys. Just keep doing your thing. Mina, you're such an inspiration. Mina Kimes is an inspiration to you, a guy? How? Hey, by the way, go listen to my podcast. Hey, by the way, go read my blog. You're just trying to use her to get clicks. You're trying to use her to get clout. You clout chasing, you simping out here for somebody that doesn't even know you exist. And if she knows you exist, she only knows you exist by a Twitter feed. She don't know you in real life. I've seen Mina Kimes. I've been at establishments where she's been. It never once occurred to me to go up and say hello to her. Why? She's not my brand. That's okay. It's okay. It's all right. Not everybody's for everybody. That's why you have different personalities on these shows. So if you don't like the Mina Kimes, you can listen to the Swagoo. But I don't need to hear Swagoo coming and throwing the shield up for Mina Kimes because I don't see Mina Kimes going out and throwing the shield up for Swagoo. He's got his own issues, right? When he's bad, when he gives a bad take, when he says something that doesn't make sense in football, you know what he goes back to? Hey, bro, I played the game. That's what he says. But he say some off-the-wall stuff. Booger McFarland be saying the most outlandish, crazy stuff on ESPN. I don't see nobody coming to his defense. He played the game at a high level, the same way that Swagoo did. Right? These loud, boisterous personalities. Mike Mad Dog on First Take, when Mike Mad Dog Russo was on First Take, I find him unwatchable. Why? Because he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just out there talking just for the sake of talking. Nobody gets on it if people badmouth Mike Mad Dog. I don't see Mina coming and saying, "Oh my gosh, y'all got to lay off Mad Dog. This is the life." And with whatever million dollars she's making, y'all better get used to people being critical. I know she's probably already used to it. She's good. She don't need you. Savior Simpin. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. Do this thing a few times a week. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree, but whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. If you join me on the YouTube channel, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Till next time, peace.